Hey, what's up guys? Chad here, and I'm out walking Maya by the lake like we pretty much always do every single day. She is the most spoiled, rotten dog in the world. But in this video I thought I'd talk about barefoot walking. It's something I do every day when I come out here, and a lot of people kind of look at me funny when I walk by them with no shoes on, but I want to talk about exactly why I do it and some of the benefits, because this right here might be something that could help you out as well. So let's talk real quick about one of the problems, which is that for most of us, we have very unhealthy feet, very unstable, immobile feet. And when our feet are unhealthy in that way, it leads to more stress in other areas of the body. For instance, the knees move more than they need to. It causes more stress on the low back. It can tilt the entire body out of position, and you can experience pain in any area of the body because of poor mobility and stability in the feet. And the reason why many of us have poor stability and mobility in our feet is because we're wearing shoes all the time, specifically cushioned shoes and high-heeled shoes that prevent us from expressing what the potential of our feet and the way they should be interacting with the ground, right? So, one of the things I talk a lot about is how our environment is the cause of much of the disease, many of the diseases and a lot of the pain that we experience. And I talk about how the food environment, excess sugar, lots of toxic fats, a lot of these processed and refined foods, conventional grains and dairy. A lot of these things are very problematic to our health because they're not things that our ancestors were eating, And when we go back to whole foods and natural foods, we fix a lot of those problems without having to take pills. And the same thing applies to the human body and the pain we experience, right? When we're sitting over a desk and hunching and texting on our phones all the time, our body adapts in a negative way, and we start to lose range of motion and joints throughout our body. And we also experience musculoskeletal imbalances. So we want to be really mindful of that. It's super important. So when you're barefoot walking, though, your proprioception turns on, right? It's kind of like a massage for your foot every single time. And when it happens is it loosens up a lot of those restrictions in the foot, and you begin to express that range of motion again, and you loosen up. You start to get that tissue, the plantar fascia, adapted to absorbing stress again rather than being in a cast when it's not moving. And I say that a lot with the foot. It's like we've been casting our feet. Just imagine if you broke your arm and you had your elbow here in a cast for like 6 weeks, and you took that cast off. Well, you'd have a real hard time straightening it out at first, right? Because the tissue would adapt in a negative way. The joint capsule of the elbow would be closed off. It kind of hurt almost to straighten it out at first. So with the foot, it's the same thing. When you're walking barefoot, it's like taking off a cast for the first time, and you're beginning to express range of motion, in all those joint capsules, and starting to strengthen up the foot again. And when you do that, you begin to walk naturally again. Your knees move in alignment the way they're supposed to. Your hips regain their range of motion. Your core, your pelvis is in a better position, so you have more leverage to engage your core and put your low back in a better position. So many things happen just by you walking over and over again. Now, I want to talk about how you just go from wearing cushioned shoes to walking barefoot, because it's not something you want to just jump into, right? Because you're not ready for it yet. Definitely be careful walking on straight concrete, right, and flat land. That's not natural hills. That's not natural terrain, like normal humans would be walking. Our ancestors would be walking. You want to be walking on grass at first, something soft. The sand's really good, and do it consistently. And do it in such a way that doesn't hurt your feet so much, because you'll experience soreness if you do it too much. So you want to do it very gently. And every time you're walking, try to walk upright, really relax the feet. There's going to be this tendency to walk really restricted, like you're clenching your feet, because it's new and it's kind of new it's uncharted territory for your foot to be able to do that. So definitely do it very easily, but yeah, take your time with it. One last benefit that I totally forgot to talk about was the benefit of earthing, right? So the earthing is a fantastic field of health that talks about how the earth has a certain energy to it, right? An electromagnetic field, and we're supposed to be connecting to the earth in that way. That conduction, that transference of energy is very healing to us. But when we're wearing shoes, we're blocking off that connection and that energy from getting to us, right? And there's also energy that we're dumping into the ground when we're earthing and connecting to the earth in that way. And it's powerful. It is extremely powerful, and to be honest with you, I can feel it, you know, when I do it, it aligns the circadian rhythm in a very impactful way. It's one of the best things you can do when you're traveling overseas and you have jet lag, is to start barefoot walking wherever you go right away, because it connects you to the earth and the cycle of the sun and where we are during night and day very, very quickly. So, you know, gosh, the research probably keeps going on and on, but if you're seeing those changes happen, you can only assume that lots of beneficial biochemical changes are happening all throughout the body in terms of hormones and serotonin and dopamine and the immune system, and probably, who knows, even the gut function is probably happening and improving there. So lots of benefits, but I say take your time, try it out, do on grass first. If like a nice golf course would be cool. Avoid flat ground and concrete. You know, even be careful walking through the house barefoot if you have tender feet. But if you're someone who, you know, is looking to improve your physical health, you know, you have plantar fasciitis, you want to gently get back into walking again, you want to strengthen up your foot, improve mobility in your ankle, definitely try barefoot walking. You'll see a huge carryover to every aspect. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, you know, go ahead and give it a like, share, comment. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Okay, talk soon. Bye-bye.